In the darkness before dawn, when most of the world is still asleep, a different kind of silence grips millions across Israel and Iran. It's not the peaceful kind, it's the silence that comes with fear, with the weight of waiting for something terrible to happen. This isn't just another headline or some distant political standoff, this is real life, and right now it's a nightmare for ordinary people. For decades, Israel and Iran have been locked in a shadow war. Old alliances crumbled after the 1979 revolution, and since then, mistrust has only deepened. Iran sees Israel as an occupier. Israel sees Iran's nuclear ambitions as a direct threat to its very existence. It's a rivalry fueled by history, ideology, and the relentless pulse of geopolitics. But now, the shadow war is slipping into the open. Last week the world learned just how close we are to disaster. Israeli officials are openly preparing for a potential strike on Iran's nuclear sites. The US is evacuating embassies and military families across the region. Iran is vowing history-making retaliation. And diplomatic talks? They're failing, falling apart under the pressure of impossible demands and decades of distrust. But numbers and negotiations don't tell you what it's like to wake up to sirens in Tehran, or to see your apartment building in Bat Yam shattered by a missile. They don't show the fear in a child's eyes when the lights go out, or the exhaustion on a parent's face as they try to reassure everyone that things will somehow be okay. Behind every casualty count is a family, a future, a story that ends too soon. Hospitals are overwhelmed, infrastructure crumbles, families are forced to flee their homes, becoming refugees in their own countries. Women, children, and minorities, already vulnerable, are hit hardest, their voices lost in the roar of conflict. The price of this war isn't just measured in ruined buildings or broken treaties, it's in broken lives. And it's not just these two countries. The risk of this conflict spreading, of exploding into something bigger, deadlier, should terrify all of us. Britain is warning about threats to global shipping. World leaders are on edge. People talk about the possibility of a third world war. These aren't just political risks, they're risks to humanity's future. But here's what I want you to remember. Even in the darkest moment, most people just want peace. I've heard it over and over, from Tehran market vendors to Israeli students to families caught between borders. They're tired, they're scared, they want to live, work, laugh, and dream, without the constant threat of violence hanging over them. So, as you watch this, think beyond the headlines. Imagine yourself in their shoes. Imagine the choices you'd have to make, the fear you'd have to swallow every day. The suffering is real, and so is the hope for something better. The time to speak, to demand peace is now. Not just for Israel or for Iran, but for every innocent person whose life hangs in the balance. Because the silence of fear should never drown out the universal cry for peace.